Sub-Saharan Africa continues to appear at the bottom of Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index, which tracks corruption in 180 countries. This year, during the 73rd session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, several African leaders took the fight against corruption to the world body. VOA's Ndiho reports.
Tackling corruption remains an uphill battle for most African countries. Transparency International, a leading global watchdog on corruption, says African nations are performing very poorly, even though some of the continent's leaders are leading the fight against corruption. For example, Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has taken steps to fight corruption. Speaking at the UN General Assembly, Buhari called for greater cooperation between African countries and to fight the illicit flow of funds across international boundaries.
Fight against corruption, therefore, involves us all. It is in our collective interest to cooperate in tracking illicit financial flows, investigate and prosecute corrupt individuals and entities, and repatriate such funds to their countries of origin.
In Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta is cracking a whip on corruption, but critics say he has been slow to pursue top government officials until recently, when he asked all civil servants, public procurement officers and accounting officers to undergo a lifestyle audit. Now President Kenyatta has taken his fight to the United Nations.
The present system of transferring and laundering illicit capital is enabling corrupt networks all over the world to illegally acquire in one country who are being welcomed with open arms as investors in another. It has become clear to citizens all over the world that what is enabling the illegal and illicit conduct of corrupt individuals and companies is globalized financial and legal systems.
Angolan president has taken on corruption more directly than any of the country's previous administrations, most notably with the arrest of José Filomeno, the son of former President José Eduardo dos Santos, over illegal transfer of $500 million from state funds to a holding account in Britain. José Filomeno is being detained on allegations of money laundering, embezzlement, and fraud. High-level corruption scandals have also tainted the administration of Edgar Lungu of Zambia. The president fired a senior government official after the British government suspended aid payments to the country amid allegations of corruptions of up to $4.7 million in aid payments that may have been embezzled. Finland, Sweden, and Ireland have also suspended aid to Zambia, pending the outcome of the far-reaching investigation. Still in Southern Africa, Emmerson Mnangagwa, the new president of Zimbabwe, speaking to a diaspora audience in New York, he vowed to fight corruption.
Corruption. Pasi nayo. We will fight corruption.
In Liberia, containers full of newly minted currency worth more than 100 million have gone missing. The cash is said to have been shipped from Sweden late last year in the midst of Liberia's elections to choose a successor to President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The disappearance has caused public outrage in a nation that has long been dogged by corruption scandals. South Sudan remains at the bottom of the Corruption Perception Index. Corrupt South Sudanese officials are alleged taking illicit funds derived from the 4.5-year civil war and investing it in Uganda and Kenya. A report released by the US-based Enough Project last year indicated that several South Sudanese leaders have invested ill-gotten wealth in neighboring countries. Paul Ndiho, VOA News, Washington.